careful.
If you don't like boring news but still crave the truth, then dive into The Robert and Crew Show. From mind-bending conspiracy theories to wild weather phenomena, we've got it all. Ever wondered what's really happening in your hometown, or what secrets the global news isn't telling you? We dig deep into the core of every story, unraveling the mysteries one podcast at a time. Join Robert and the crew as we navigate this vibrant, ever-changing cyberpunk landscape, bringing you interviews with the most intriguing minds out there. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, a news junkie or a weather enthusiast, there's something here for you. So strap in, listeners, because we're about to take you on a ride through the neon-lit alleys of truth and intrigue. This is the Robert and Crew Show, where the future meets the fantastic.
Welcome back to the Robert and Crew Show. As always, I'm Robert.
And I'm Crew.
Hey, I'm Brandon.
Yeah, tonight we got Brandon out here for kind of like an interview, but plus like hangout session. So how are you guys tonight? How are you doing, Crew?
Very well rested. I needed my sleep last night.
Yeah, bro, you passed out and left me the fuck alone by myself. I was sad.
Okay, look. I was so exhausted from work. It's not even funny, okay?
I was sad.
You want to know why? Okay, you want to know why I didn't join? I'll tell you why I didn't join, because after we did the podcast, I slept for like 3 hours. Then went to work, so exhausted. By 6 p.m., after I got home about 30 minutes in, I passed the fuck out. Didn't wake up till about close to 3 a.m.
Yeah, no, I feel it. That sounds about right, bro.
I got those days too.
So how are you, Brandon?
Oh, I'm doing good. Hey, I'm not gonna be in the comments section, tonight, which is a bummer. But hey, I'm gonna be up here, and you guys get to enjoy this beautiful face right here. Sure. I know that Crew's has been looking been. I'm not gonna finish.
Okay. Looking like a fucking weirdo smoking.
Okay, look. Okay, look. All right, this hey, Julie, Rob. Hey Julie. This is the typical. Back in the day when me and Brandon actually hung out after high school, him, and his wife and my smoking buddy known as Aubrey would literally hang out front. And literally piss off my ex Kelly just to the point so we could all hang out and smoke. And Kelly would get so pissed off that we were avoiding her just so we could hang out.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Aubrey. She was something. She was something. Oh, man. Good times.
Julie says she's also watching the WWE Hall of Fame.
I was offered to watch that, but I turned it down.
So what's going on with the WWE tonight, Crew?
Well, we got the Hall of Fame. Then we got WrestleMania weekend. It's a 2-night event, but I'm probably not going to watch it. Knowing me.
Why not?
School,
gotcha.
Yep.
Are you gonna watch any of it, Brandon?
I'm probably gonna go to bed.
Yeah,
I'll watch it in my sleep.
You're not a big WWE fan?
No.
Me neither.
Well, hang on. I am a fan of the midget WWE or the little people WWE. I am a fan of that.
Dude, I just saw a UFC fight where there was a midget versus a big guy. It was like brought by Aiden Ross. Like Aiden Ross did a UFC fight with a whole bunch of random like people, and one was a midget that went up against a like normal sized dude, and the midget beat the crap out of the normal sized dude. It was wonderful. I watched the whole thing. It was great.
Wow.
Dude, that midget kicked ass.
Well, they don't play fair either, but they have every right to not play fair. Hey, I mean, to be honest, I mean, you know, if they're at the level of my balls area, I mean, I,
Right. I mean,
I mean, like,
if
go ahead.
you can hit him in the groin, then why not? You know what I
Yeah, why
mean?
not?
That's just called winning. Just pop, pop, just using it like a ball bag, right?
Yep.
That's just what's got to happen.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
so tonight, man, I think we were planning on talking a little bit about what you do for a career.
Yep.
So
So,
if you had to explain to all of our viewers what you do for a living, what would you say?
let me ask you guys, what do you guys think I do for a living? Well, hang on. No, no, never mind. That doesn't really work out because you guys already know. So, anyway, so I drive a semi truck for a living, and all that. So I've done intermodal, which is picking up at the rail yard and then taking it to like distribution centers. Is mostly what I did, or just to whichever customers that we need to take it to. I've done a lot of Walmart. I've done a lot of Amazon with that. So, oh, shit to no Walmarts. Holy
What's the
crap.
craziest thing you've ever had to transport that you can legally talk about?
Oh, in general?
Yeah,
Oh, baby chickens.
baby chickens.
Yep.
And
Yep.
how many
So
of those were you transporting at a time?
uh, how much do you think that we can fit on the trailer?
50,000.
Double that.
100,000?
Yeah. So we can. So I have done. I have transported a max of 108,000 little baby chickens. You
Oh,
know, yeah, from the southern Missouri area to the Nebraska area just south of like Lincoln area.
right. I do. So, what does something like that smell like when you're transporting 100,000 baby chickens?
Um, let's see here. Trying to think. Go to the zoo and 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 go. Yeah, just go to the zoo because it smells very similar. Not really quite, but I mean very similar. So
Right.
so yeah, but yeah, so that was a super interesting thing. But yeah, I used to pick up from a very well known company that I'm not going to say who it is
No,
for,
don't.
you know.
Don't
Yeah.
divulge any companies you work for. Don't
Yep.
divulge anybody like that because you don't want to get yourself in trouble. This is live.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
So, but the process is very interesting. So, and all that. But yeah, but I would be hauling baby chickens that I have actually hatched that day, and drive them all the way up to the farms. And then from there, we would I would actually unload it from the truck and actually bring them all inside of the barns and all that.
How many
So
of them survive the trip?
I think that there's like
You gotta have some
uh
that perish along
oh
the
yeah,
way.
oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I've learned that the chickens are worthless. So like if there is one baby chick that is sick and just is not doing well, the other little baby chickens will actually pluck it to death. And so from the time from the hatchery all the way up to the farm, we're looking at about maybe 1 to 3%, death
Oh,
by the time
okay.
we get there. Yeah, which is
So what you're
so they
talking
put
like
them.
maybe 100 of them die?
Yeah, yep, yep,
Yeah.
yeah, through like various reasons.
Right. It could be anything. They could have been trampled. They could have been pecked to death. They could have
Mhm.
just been sick. They could have been anything
Yep.
could have happened.
Yep.
No, I
Yep.
get
Anything
that.
could happen. Yep.
So I had a buddy a while ago that hauled around pigs. He hauled around
Uh,
pig farms.
we have something like that now, but it's not in our area. It's over in the North Kansas area.
This
Is
dude
what
drove
we
in
got for that.
Iowa. Yeah, this dude drove in Iowa.
We also got something in Iowa for that too.
Yeah, he was
But
a pig farmer transporter.
yeah, they asked me if I wanted to do that. I was like, nah,
I
nah.
feel like that would really stink. That would really suck.
It would. From my understanding, you gotta try to paddle the all those pigs in and out of those trailers. I was like, nah, not for me.
No, no, I'm good for that. I'm good on that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm good for that. But yeah, so and then
Crew,
so
why you
every
so quiet?
year, the what?
Sorry, Crew's just being quiet.
I'm
Yeah.
listening.
I got
I'm
you.
chilling. I'm chillaxing.
Got you, homie. I'm just fucking with you.
I
Yeah.
know.
So
Continue,
yeah.
gang.
So pretty much, I've seen the whole process from literally start to finish on how chicken gets to our stores and all
So
that. So
why do you think we were going through such a horrible egg shortage this past year?
in my honest opinion, so the company that I was working for, I mean, like if they wanted to, they can actually they kind of control how many chickens that we actually take out to the farms and all that. So I don't know how much of it is actually just like company control and or greed, because I mean like they want to control the market and all that, which, yeah, I mean, I understand it, but I don't agree with it.
So the other night on the show, I know you heard me talking about how many hens are culled a year. And you
Hmm.
thought it was pretty insane that last year, up until December of 2024, that 34.3 million hens were culled.
Now
Did
that might be so that might be across the board with all of the other chicken companies too. I don't know where that, I mean, 34 mil. I mean, like if you base it off that I deliver 100,000 birds per day. Uh, I mean, it's not a really big number.
how many people or how many companies do you think transport birds per day, and how many birds do you think are transported throughout the United States per day? Specifically just baby chicks or
All
or,
right.
or hens.
Um. Dude, I can't even begin to think because I can
More
only.
than more than 100, or sorry, more than obviously more than like 1.5 million a day.
Yeah. Well. So we're like the whole entire process is is like we're going like 24-hour process. I mean like the process does not stop at all.
So it's just constant delivery and constant receiving and constant delivery and constant
Well,
receiving.
yeah, well. Okay, so on the delivering the baby chicks, it takes it took about, what was it, 40? No, it took about 44 weeks, or well, give or take 2 months, from like the time that they were laid to the time that they are ready to be killed, to be processed and all that, which is like a 44-week process
I
and all
gotcha.
that. Yeah. So for my part, from the time that I dropped the baby chicks off at the farms, to the and then like, so that it would take about 2 months for me to actually go back to that same farm to actually deliver more birds to them. It's,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So besides chickens, what other things have you hauled around?
I so now I do groceries. So I deliver to the local stores now around the Kansas City metro and also the Springfield area.
So like random groceries and stuff?
Yeah. So it's not really random groceries, but I mean like it yeah it pretty much is. I mean
Like you driving
uh
like a frozen truck or a dry truck?
it's a reefer truck. So uh so uh, so we have frozen, cooler, and then also dry products in our
Gotcha.
trucks and all
Gotcha.
that. So and then we have a bulkhead that actually separates the freezer with the cooler stuff and all that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and that's and so every load I do, I go to about at least two stores, at least two, sometimes one, and then also sometimes three. It just
So
depends.
so what's the weight of what you're hauling now? Like normally, like how much do you haul in one go?
That varies because like stuff like water weighs a lot.
Right.
Like in water, what else? Milk products, yogurt products, stuff like that kind of weighs a
Anything that
lot.
can be contained that's a liquid, basically.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, and then also can pallets also weigh a lot too, but
I bet.
and all that. So, but I also deliver chips. I mean anything that you can think of in your pantry right now, I probably delivered it in
Right.
some way, shape, or form.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, and then yeah, so for what I'm doing right now, the market's just fine for the groceries part. I am concerned when it comes to the intermodal part that has slowed down tremendously. Like and so now a couple of years ago, I would ask for a intermodal load to do, no problem at all. Now it's very slim pickings
I
on that.
gotcha.
So it really yeah, that one has really taken a hit, which is why I'm glad that I stepped away from that, and I did the agricultural stuff, and now the groceries. So
Right. So I do
and
got a
then
question for you, a personal question, real quick.
yeah.
You drive at night ever? Like you say, you drive at night, right? Like all the time? You're
Oh,
always driving at night?
uh, it depends on what I'm doing. But for the groceries, I drive. Um, like so my hours are from like noon to midnight most of the time. I mean but depending on the day I mean like I've worked up until uh 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So
So
but
have you seen anything weird? Like
like what do you mean
UFOs?
weird?
Like UFOs or anything paranormal while driving?
I've seen a lot of shooting stars as I'm driving, but I have some. I mean, like they're pretty they're pretty far in between. I'll see like random lights, in the sky
Mhm.
that I can't really explain and all that. But other than that, I don't see it very often.
But they're there. You see
Yeah,
them
so yeah,
sometimes. Yeah. See,
yeah,
because
but yeah.
I always ask every trucker or every person that drives at night that I meet, how like do you pay attention to the sky at all, and how often do you pay attention to it? Because a lot of these truckers do. They pay attention to what's going on around them.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I've heard some crazy stories from truckers. I heard one trucker say that he saw that, and I've got my own weird little story about him. But skinwalkers. I have a trucker who swears he saw a deer change form in front of him on the highway. It just changed into something else, and then like fled the scene. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and he's really credible. He drives to and from Texas to Mexico.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. I've had the stuff that I cannot explain
Hmm.
happen many times, and all that. But nothing that I can remember on top of my head though.
Yeah, see, I always ask though because you guys are out at all times of the night.
Hmm.
Y'all are out at the perfect time to see the weird stuff.
I might see it. It kind of happens any time of day, any time of day. It's just that at nighttime, it's kind of harder to see it, but also sometimes I don't know if my if my brain is playing tricks on me, and stuff like that. I'm like, and so I'm always second guessing, on some things like that.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, yeah. But
So you got
yeah,
some questions or anything?
Yeah, I got two. My first question is, what would be your favorite stop?
my house.
Well, I mean, when you're working.
Oh, um, probably the last stop of my day. Let's be honest. That no, yeah, no, because right now I'm just I drive up to the Kansas City area, pick up my load, and then I'll either run a city load up there, and then like go back to the warehouse, and then like pick up my load, go coming back down to the Springfield area. So, and that's mostly what I do every night. So when you guys are actually going live for your shows, I'm actually catching you guys at the very end of my shift most of the time,
Right.
and all that. So and the but also there's also times where where I just turn you guys on, as I'm at the store, and I just listen to you guys, in the background.
Well, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we
That's
do.
awesome. You listen
Oh
to
yeah,
us. And, yeah, fun doing it because we love our listeners, man.
yep, yep. You guys are awesome. You guys talk about stuff that other podcasters are actually afraid to talk about.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I was like, no subject is off limits for me. And I was actually going to ask you tonight: are there any subjects you wanted to personally talk about or feel the need to bring up? Any-
Mm,
Anything that's on your mind, man. Anything's fair game. The only
and
thing, the only thing that I ask is that we are respectful of other people's feelings, if
yep,
possible.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm just here to chill out with you guys, and hey, let's talk about whatever. So, yeah. So,
So, have you seen the fact that last night there was a pretty big earthquake in Jackson, Wyoming, right next to Yellowstone?
really,
Yeah, we found out last night on the podcast, but it was a 3.9. It was originally a 4.1 in Jackson, Wyoming. It was a 3.9 when it kind of rattled through Yellowstone.
see, I'm kind of concerned about that because that's where the super volcanoes are at,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
and yeah,
so
it's
something
not
like
a
that could set those
not
off.
uncommon It's not uncommon for earthquakes to happen at Yellowstone, okay? But it's uncommon for a 3.0 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we have like 1.0s to like a 1.4, like anywhere around there.
Yeah.
But a 3.0 and let alone a 3.9, that's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Wow.
it's interesting.
Well, and I mean, like, so here in like Missouri, we used to never get like earthquakes, but now, but I mean, lately, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're kind of getting, getting some, here and there. They're kind of,
There were
coming our
two in
way.
Kansas City last year, if I'm correct, because I felt one of them because one of
Yeah,
them woke me up. One of them woke me up from sleep. I didn't know an earthquake was happening, but I saw my picture frame on the wall like moving, like back and
yeah,
forth a little bit. And I was
yeah,
like, what the fuck is going on? And I just kind of woke up and it all just kind of stopped. And I remember going out to the living room and seeing some of the stuff that I hung up on the wall, like on the floor, and the pans in the kitchen had fallen. And then I was like, that's fucking weird. I was like, what the hell happened? And I remember
hear
turning on
that
the
or a
TV.
ghost in your house.
Yeah, and I remember turning on the TV and they were like, if you just woke up and felt that, it was a miniature quake through the area KC. And I was like, oh my God, we did feel it. It did affect us.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of happening more and more common for us, which it wasn't common at all.
For the whole 32 years of my life, man, I have never like felt an earthquake till then,
Yep,
till last year.
yep, same here. And so I don't really know how to, like, so like someone out in like California, it would be like, all right, yeah, it's no big deal. We kind of deal with this on a regular basis. Here, over here, we don't.
No, we really don't.
No, and also we sit on a fault line, and yeah, I mean, like, if that were to ever split, dude, we're gone.
Oh yeah, the New Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's an old nursery rhyme that talks about when the New Madrid goes off, the arch comes tumbling down, and they're talking about the St. Louis Arch.
Yeah. Yep. And I see that. I see that arch. Well, I used to see it quite a bit. I don't see it much anymore, only because I don't go over to the St. Louis area anymore. But I used to all the time.
Yeah, man, the New Madrid, man, that's a scary thing because we're literally right on the edge of it. Like it would
Mm-hmm.
literally rock the hell out of all of us if it went off.
It would be doing way more than that. We'd be all
Yeah, no, I
falling to our
know.
deaths.
Yeah, it'd be tearing apart everything.
Oh yeah.
Same thing
Yeah.
with the San Andreas fault.
Yeah.
Oh,
I pray that don't ever happen. But I
yeah,
mean, but I bring that up because it's like it kind of makes me nervous as we're feeling more and more earthquakes.
yeah, I know,
So
and
something's moving.
more and more volcanic activity too.
Yeah.
So that's crazy because they say like, and I quote people like Crew like this, but also I've also been listening to the Bible myself, and that's just like they quote the end times being full of fire. And hearing that all of these volcanoes are starting to become active again, I'm just like, oh shit, is it really happening? Is it about to happen soon?
Start playing the Johnny Cash song, "The
Yeah,
Ring of Fire."
fell into a burning ring of fire. Can't sing that whole thing, or they'll copyright us and throw me out. But I sing it so fucking well, don't you know?
Oh man.
So,
Uh.
do you think that there's a possibility in the next 10 years that Elon Musk is his whole Tesla company and a couple other EV companies are going to take over the trucking industry with AI?
So okay. So when it comes to the self-driving stuff, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I can see it being a thing, but only for certain areas. Um, but I mean, uh,
I know that's a difficult question. I had to ask it.
yeah, I know it's a very good one. I see it, but okay. So from my understanding though, but because okay, if you guys are driving through Kansas City, you know how people drive.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
They will literally cut you off and not think twice about it
yeah,
and all that. When it comes to these self-driving vehicles, yeah, all of that stuff, like and then also when it comes to the bad winter weather stuff too. This is where that stuff is not going to do well. It's not going to work, work as well. So
yeah,
I'm thinking, no matter what, they will have a driver in that truck just in case. Just in case. Well, yeah, as a just in case.
yeah. As a backup,
So, yep, as a backup. So no matter what, they won't really be completely driverless, and all that. But if they do, if they are driverless, they also open themselves up for a lot of hijacking and
yeah,
stuff like that. Because I don't know about you, but I mean, is it easier to hijack a freaking robot, that is driving a vehicle, or a actual person that is more than capable of actually defending themselves from you
right.
and all that. So I mean, yeah, we'll see. And then, but also, if one of those self-driving trucks, let's say, runs a red light, or like parks in a no parking zone, who gets the ticket?
Probably the company.
Yeah. So it would be the company would be more and more liable for that. So I don't know. We'll see, but so I can. We are getting there. We are definitely getting there. Because I just got a new truck right now, and but so we have monitors. We have monitors. Right? So as I'm going down the road, my monitors are like in my face like this as I'm
Right.
driving as I'm going down the road. So these monitors, they are my mirrors on my truck.
I got you.
So my company wants to go mirrorless trucks, and they're doing it for the the fuel efficiency type thing,
Right.
you know. So yeah, and so
What are they
so they
taking
are becoming more and more high tech.
Yeah. So are they using cameras instead?
Yeah, so they are using cameras, and they are which, by the way, everyone who is listening right now, uh company trucks, they all have cameras on them, and they and everything. So if you let's say if you brake check a semi truck for whatever reason, there's cameras in those
Right.
and all that. So I mean, yeah. So
Has
just
that ever
watch
happened
what
to
you
you?
guys do around semi trucks,
Okay.
because I have cameras that are recording 24/7 as I'm going down the road.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, in Kansas City, yeah,
Yeah. Somebody try to brake check you? That's so
yeah, for
stupid.
stupid reason. It's stupid.
It is so dumb. Like because
No,
first off, not only are they in the wrong, but you could totally just plow them right over.
well,
That's
yeah, that too,
what's
but
so stupid about it.
they do it because so I'm governed at 65 miles per hour in my truck. So and but and so let's say I'm on 49, and I'm trying to pass someone that is going like what 55. If I take too long, dude, people will just well, yeah. If I take too long, people will they will literally pass me, cut in front of me, and then just slam on the brakes, all because I was trying to pass someone. I'm like, really, really?
Yeah, that's petty.
It is petty,
That
and
part's petty.
it's it's every day though, so I'm kind of used to it.
That's insane.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
many
but
how
huh.
many times a day do you get asked to honk?
At least 1 to 5 times. It depends on the day. I'll do it like definitely for the kids, but I'll do it if I don't have no other vehicles around me. I'll do it, but if I'm on the like 435, I won't do it then because I got so many vehicles around me. Yeah, yeah, I don't want them to freak out.
Yeah.
So it depends, but yeah, yeah, it happens quite a bit. And you know what? Most of us truckers, we don't mind at all. We don't. We'll actually do it for you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So these trucks, they are becoming more and more high tech. I like my but with all the cameras, and like sensors and all that, the system's not perfect. It's not. So and that's kind of where I see is where they're gonna have a major problem with because right now, I mean, like if I'm on 49, 49 is set at 65 miles per hour. Well, as I am in the right lane driving, my camera catches all of these speed limits on the exits, and it will constantly yell at me for speeding, even though that I am going the freaking speed limit.
Right.
I don't get it. Yeah,
Does your
yeah.
company
It's not
deduct
perfect,
you?
but I mean, like it's getting there.
Does the company try to deduct you for speeding?
They've gotten to the point was so they were, but because there's so many, so because it's happening to every single driver, they cannot afford to lose every single driver, so they have to be lenient with it, and they have
Right.
gotten a lot like laid back. So nowadays, if it goes off, I just like whatever, and then just keep on doing whatever I'm doing.
Right.
So
So
yeah.
you've driven in bad weather, like during the ice and snow and stuff.
Yeah, not proud of it, but yeah, yep.
Have you ever slid that truck into a ditch?
Nope, nope. Because I know my limit. When it actually comes to that stuff, I know my limit. And but also, when it comes to driving in the bad weather, it's all about speed.
Right.
You don't want to be going going to like 65 miles per hour. Well, when the whole interstate is covered in snow
Yeah.
and
No.
all that. you know so I mean, yeah, it's all about the speed, but so if I do have to work in a as it's snowing and all that, you know yeah, I just use my best judgment, I don't get into any big hurry on those days.
Have you
None.
ever hit anything?
No.
No, never.
No.
Nice. Good
Now
track.
I have before I was a semi driver, I was on ice. So I was in my personal vehicle going home one day, and I was sliding on ice. And that was a fun ride.
Yeah,
Let's just say I had to change my underwear by the time I got home.
I bet. Yeah,
But yeah, but I mean, if I can help it, if I know for a fact that we're getting snow and ice in the area, dude, I just call off.
right.
Like it's not worth it in my book.
No, it's really not.
No, and then also, I mean, like the groceries can wait until until the storm passes.
Right.
So, but Missouri's all right when it comes to cleaning the roads. They're not the greatest, but yeah, they're all right.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So, you guys got any more questions about trucking?
True.
Hold on, I'm looking up some good questions. Give me a second.
You're trying to look
Ooh,
up questions. You're
the
trying
harder
to
the
throw them
better.
for a loop. You're trying to freak them out a little.
Hmm.
But
I got a
yeah,
question. Are you like a? Are you as much of a conspiracy theorist as me and crew are?
oh, hell yeah, I am. But I think it's because, uh, you know, um, over the years, I've just, both over the years, I've been I've learned to see through the deception
Yeah,
that's
for
going on.
sure. It's and the problem is people get caught up in the political party aspect, and it's both fucking parties. It's
It
both
is both
parties.
parties. It's not
Yeah,
just
it's
one. No, between the two parties now, it's all it's pretty much morals. It's like
yeah.
which party lines up with your morals type thing.
One wants to ruin the world, and the other one wants to enslave the poor. That's how I see it. Uh,
But in reality, they're both doing the same thing.
yeah, for sure. They're just doing it, just flavoring it differently.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because
I like
now
it.
people like us, I mean, people like us, I don't see us um actually retiring when it comes to our when it actually comes to that time
We're
because
never gonna get to retire unless we get lucky. If we get lucky, we
yeah,
get to retire.
yeah, you gotta be extremely lucky.
Well, you gotta put
uh
some money away in stocks and gold and stuff, man. You gotta put
yeah,
some.
and that's what I'm doing too. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just buying stocks and 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 all that, and having a 401k and all that. So I mean,
Invest in
I'm
gold.
hoping.
Invest in gold.
Yep,
I can't say that more than anything is that money that you put in the stock market will be there today. It might be gone tomorrow. It might grow by 5 trillion. It might die by 5 billion. You might be in debt. So you got to
yep,
look at it this way that you got to invest a lot of your cash into gold because gold will never lose its value. It will only gain its value. Remember
yep.
that.
It will always go up.
Yeah, it will never go down unless they find a crazy abundance of it, which only happens every now and then. It barely happens. They think they've found most of the stockpile on Earth.
Yeah,
It's really
but
hard to find.
they haven't gone deep, like
Well,
super deep into the earth.
they also don't stream it either. Like they don't go to a stream
Yeah,
and scan it. Which hillbillies do all the time. They come out with ten
yeah,
thousand dollars because they freaking know what they're doing.
yeah. Now and then when it comes to the crypto stuff, I don't do that stuff.
Oh, crypto coins.
Nope. Yeah, I don't do those.
So what are you
Here's
gonna do
a
though? So what are you gonna do if they change the world to digital currency?
Well, they've already started on it now.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do.
Well, they're not trying. They are doing it because um. So you all have debit cards and credit cards, right?
Yeah,
That is digital currency.
yeah, technically.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That's
It's just
digital
that
currency
now it's
backed by
just
money.
connected to a bank account.
Well, that's digital currency backed by actual money. Bitcoin's a
Yes.
little bit different because Bitcoin's not actually money. It's
Yeah, I
money
know.
that was
Yep.
made up by somebody.
Yeah, and that's so it's backed by nothing. So that's why. So in reality, I don't really understand. It's not backed by anything, and it holds no actual value. But
It's
for some
only
reason,
backed.
it does.
It's only backed by the highest person who owns the most of it, and it's only worth that much as long as they're actually worth something. If they're not worth anything, that Bitcoin goes to zero. If that Bitcoin goes to
Yep.
zero, then everybody's screwed. So Bitcoin
Yep.
doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And plus, like, people mine Bitcoin, which I don't understand. You can get a computer just for mining Bitcoin, which is like absolutely insane to me that there's people who are literally in their basements doing something on the computer and becoming millionaires because they're mining Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, how the hell do you do that? And how the hell did you find the time to do that? Like
Exactly.
I have to have a real job, man. I had to. I couldn't invest in
Hmm.
a cryptocurrency if I wanted to because I don't understand any of it. I'm not I'm not
Well,
smart when it comes to the math stuff. Like
yeah.
I've got some crypto because I do an app called Sweat, and the app Sweat has a crypto coin called Sweat Coin, and that Sweat Coin can be acquired by walking daily. You walk a whole bunch and you get money. I'm not sponsored by Sweat Coin or nothing. I'm just saying I like them. I've got that. It's cool.
Hmm.
But anyways, it tracks your steps, and for every 7,200 steps you take, you generate one sweat coin. And sweat coin isn't worth a shitload of money or nothing. So like you have to have a ton of them to even have a dollar. But it's still cool that you're like walking around and you're generating some kind of money. Like I can sell this eventually and probably have maybe eight, nine, maybe 1,000 if I just ignore my account and just ignore it for like a year or 2 years and then cash out all my coin. But besides that, it's not like Bitcoin. I'm not going to make $200,000 overnight or nothing.
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
all right. Here's it's actually I'm gonna combine two questions together. So you're on the road for long periods, right? So how do you manage your the physical demands while driving the semi truck and plus strategize your mental health through it?
What do you mean by the demands?
So physical demands, like managing.
Like being tired, being back pain, sitting in a truck a long time, doing things like
Oh, that stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
It is called 5 hour energy and freaking and a leave.
yeah.
No joke.
No, I
That's
get
what
you.
that's called.
It's called being an old
But
man.
yeah, so when I first started like trucking on my own, so I was gone for 2 weeks, and then home for 2 days. I did not do that for very long because I hated it. Hated it.
How long
But
were
I
you
thought,
gone?
but
How long
huh?
were you gone?
I was gone for 2 weeks,
Oh my
and
goodness.
then home for 2 days. So
How'd
pretty
your wife
much,
deal with that? How'd your wife take that?
she took that with a vibrator, I think.
No, for real. But like, did that add any strain on y'all's relationship? Like,
Oh
did y'all
yeah,
get upset with each
yeah,
other at all over it?
Yeah, it did, but because so we were able to do it like so my wife was a stay home mom because when I first started trucking, my son was like my son was 6 months old, so just a baby. So with me doing trucking and all that, we were like, well, if I can, like, if we can make it on just my income alone, let's just have you stay home, you know, and just and just take care of the kid and all that, and that's all that you gotta do and all that, and then and then so we did that for a while, and actually we did that up to uh probably about a year and a half ago. So I mean, like you can make some pretty good money, being a CDL truck driver holder, and all that. But the sacrifice comes at a cost, which is always home time, and seeing your kids and seeing your spouses and all that. So so that part sucked. So but I only did the did I only did the 3 week 2 weeks out, and then, like, 2 days home. I only did that for about 6 to 8 months, and then I transferred to do intermodal stuff up in Kansas City, and then so that got me home. So I was out for 5 days, and then and then I was home for the weekend,
Right.
and so I did that for about 3 years,
Have you ever
and
hit
then
a
I
deer?
got yep, and then I got onto the chicken stuff, and that got me home every night.
Have you ever hit a deer with your truck?
No, but I really wish I did, because instead of hitting a deer with in the semi truck, instead I hit a deer in my car on the way to
Oh
work.
no, no,
Yeah,
Ooh. Oh no.
yeah, yeah. That
no.
was yeah, that was painful for me. Luckily, I only hit it over on the passenger side. The deer lived,
Yeah,
which I'm like, okay, great, but it took out my freaking headlight though, and
I
did some
bet.
bottom damage. But I mean, but that's what insurance is for. So that was only so like $5,000 repair ended up only costing me $100. So
Right.
insurance, yeah. But if I hit a deer in a semi truck, I'm okay with it. I mean, like, it's going to cost me downtime, yeah. But however, though, with my
This might
company,
bounce right
they'll just
off.
have me in the truck. Yeah, my company, they will probably just like tow the truck somewhere, and then just like put me into another truck the very next day
Right.
type thing. That is why that if I ever hit a deer, I really hope that it's in the semi truck. Plus, my truck has a deer guard on it, so
No, it does.
yeah, it does. Yep.
So is
So
that
it
just
helps.
like the deer will bounce right off? Basically guaranteed.
I wouldn't say guarantee. It's supposed to,
But it's a
so
bigger
that deer
chance.
guard is supposed to take most of the damage.
Right. It's a better chance of the deer just bouncing off.
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of it going right through your engine block.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I just saw a
I
video the other day of a trucker driving through like this small, like, I think it was probably like in Italy or something. It was like in a countryside out in the middle of Europe somewhere. And he smacked a deer and the deer just went whoop 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 whoop, like flew over. Like just
I, s- I saw that before. So I was driving up to Kansas City one day. I saw a deer run by. I was like, oh shit, oh shit. Anyways, I saw the deer literally dart past me, ran over to the other side. There was another semi truck coming, and the other semi truck hit it, and that thing went flying. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, it just went up in the air and it was gone.
Oh yeah, it was gone. Yeah, that deer did not make it.
No, no way.
I felt sorry for the other driver though, but I was like, "Thank God that wasn't me."
Right? So close.
Oh jeez. But yeah, so when it comes to trucking, it's all about balancing, well, it's all about balance. You gotta find that balance, for your lives and all that. Um and all that. And like so my work, they try so I work 5 days right now. They try to get me to work 6 days a lot, and I'm like, no, 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 because I have had enough of the whole working 6 days a week, type thing. That to where I'm at the point where my kids are, they are 9 and 7 right now. This is the time that I need to be home more often. So, but I still gotta pay bills, so and
Right.
all that. So,
100%.
but yeah, but I am um I'm actually home every night now. So and so my kids see me every day.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Family's more important
So
anyways than a job.
yeah, it is. It is. And one of my biggest fears is is dying, is passing away, or no, yeah, passing away in the semi truck. That's one of my biggest fears.
Right.
Because at the truck stops, dude, I mean, like, I literally woke up one day, and there was cops all around my truck. I was like, what's going on here? And the officer told me, it's like, yeah, the guy that was parked next to you, yeah, he actually passed away in his truck. He actually hung himself. I'm like,
Oh
oh my
God.
god,
Holy crap.
wow, yeah, yeah. I
I
was
was
like,
gonna ask you
okay.
if anything crazy's ever happened to you at a truck stop, I guess that answers my question.
Yep. But most of the time, if I am sleeping at a truck stop, I just close my mirrors and I just go in the back and and just chill out,
Do you have a bed in your truck?
for the night. Huh?
Do you have a bed in your truck?
Yep.
That's cool.
Well, not in my current truck. I'm in a day cab truck right now.
Gotcha.
I've had many sleeper trucks.
Right.
So and those trucks have the beds in the back,
What's your
and they come with
longest
shelving
what's
and
the
all that
longest
stuff.
journey you ever had to take in a truck?
The longest what?
Journey, like the longest place to place you had to go in a truck.
Oh, picking up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and then taking that load down to somewhere in Texas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think that was one of my longest. It was about 1,000 miles.
Wow.
But so I can do that in about 2 days. Um, so the first day would just be picking it up and then just pretty much
Right.
going with it. So, but I actually like that run though because I mean like um mostly because I got to see the whole country.
Yeah, for
Every
sure.
every time I did it. So I was like, this is great. But but there was a lot of time when I was OTR, where they would have nothing in the area that I was in, and so they made me sit for a while, and that's the part that I hated the most. It's just
I
sitting in
bet.
the truck for hours and just waiting on my next load.
Yeah, I
That
bet
sucked.
that'd be probably pretty annoying.
Oh yeah, it
Drew,
is.
you got any more questions?
Those were the only ones I could find that were good ones.
All right. So how do
All right.
you feel? So, how do you feel about what's going on today in American politics?
So, are you talking about the tariffs right now?
Talking about tariffs, I'm talking about just where America's at in general.
I think, in my honest opinion, I'm trying to trust the process
Right,
right now. Um, yeah, just trying to, but yeah, just trying to trust the process. But as of right now, the terrace is kind of killing intermodal right now, and that's kind of a bummer because we have a lot of freight when it comes to like so with the intermodal handles all of the stuff that is coming and going in and out of the country
right,
and all that and and all that comes by by the ships and by the trains and then the drivers take it from the shipyards or from the rail yards and then we'll take it to to like wherever it actually needs to go and all that.
what's the coolest
So
place you've ever delivered to?
the coolest place I've ever delivered to. Um, how about this? The coolest place I have ever driven through would be the Carolinas.
Yeah,
Yeah, just going up and so we don't have none of the mountains here, driving up and down those like mountains, those were pretty cool. Definitely in the springtime, the spring and summertime, awesome, awesome. But but the one thing that I did not like about the East Coast though is just the truck parking because there's a lot of times where where I'm kind of creeping towards the end of my day, and so I need to have a parking well, I kind of need to find somewhere to park. Well, over on the East Coast, yeah, I had a very hard time when it comes to parking. Very
right.
hard time because and then because a lot of those people, like I mean, like if you don't find parking, roughly around noon to 3, I mean, like after 3, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time. Here, here in Missouri, all of the truck stops fill up at about 5 to 7.
Right.
Yeah, and so and so so yeah, you gotta get kind of creative and all that, and and then for me doing for so long, I know where all of the mom and pop stuff is at. So so instead of parking it at the truck stops, I would just park it at the mom and pops, store, truck stops and stores like that.
Right.
And that was and that and because on those ones, no matter the time of day that you actually get in and all that, there will always I mean like you will always be able to find a spot for you to park at.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Um,
Have you ever had to tight park the truck?
have I had to what?
Like park the truck in a very tight space?
Yeah, oh yeah. And
Are you very uncomfortable when you have to do that, or does it come as second nature now?
so now it comes at a second nature. Now that I've been driving a truck for 8 years now. So now it just comes to me. just like that. When I first started, it was that was a challenge. It was a
Yeah.
challenge. It was definitely a challenge. But over time though, I got better and better and better. So now, now it's just like I can pretty much do it in my sleep. Actually, and sometimes I actually do dream that I'm literally driving a freaking semi truck. That sucks.
Yeah.
Do you
No,
guys ever?
it can get rough, I bet.
Oh yeah. Do you guys ever dream that you guys are like at work?
all the time.
Yes, I've had those dreams.
How much? Whenever you guys wake up, how pissed off are you guys?
Very.
Kind of
Okay.
sometimes.
So check this out. Okay, so after I did the podcast, right, about 2 nights ago, perfect example about this. I was so pissed off. I did not even want to be there. And I literally had to strip 28 rooms. All the rooms were already done. I'm like, why the fuck am I wasting my time if they're already fucking done? And I just arrived at freaking 10 o'clock in the morning.
Crew, we can't see you.
I'm right here.
Well, now
Oh, there he is.
I'm literally trying to push my cat away from my freaking cord, and I'm trying to hold him back, and that's why I'm not near the camera right now, but I'm still close.
Gotcha.
You know how my cat is. But yeah, that's a perfect example of me being
Sorry,
pissed
Pat.
off at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've had dreams where I'm at work and then I wake up and I'm like, good God, why did I dream that I was at work? Why did I choose to use my dream time to be at work?
Oh, another perfect example. Brandon, you should remember this.
Uh-huh.
So, remember when I used to work at McDonald's?
Yeah.
And I would get so pissed off when Kelly and them would always show up and freaking drive through and bug the fuck out of me.
That was a lot.
I know.
It was a lot. Because I was with them too sometimes.
Yeah, Robert, no joke. Okay, so I'm sitting in drive through at freaking 4 in the fucking morning and I'm waiting to get off at 6.
Yeah.
Kelly, Brandon, his wife, freaking Kelly's gay friend Nick, and then oh, Emily and Emily's husband
Macy.
And Macy and freaking Emily's husband. I'm like, those motherfuckers. I'm trying to fucking work. And all they would go through drive-through was for freaking cookies.
Yep, it was for cookies most of the time.
Bro, I'd go there and I would just get whatever from you because I knew you were working there and I knew you'd freaking, if you were working grill that night, you'd load me up.
Mm-hmm. And then when Aubrey started working there, I'm like, oh great, now probably Kelly's probably having Aubrey keep an eye on me, making sure I'm not flirting with anybody.
Bro, I got so mad when you stopped working grill at McDonald's.
I
did. I got
because
so
you couldn't
mad.
take advantage of them?
No, I couldn't. I couldn't go up there anymore and be like, yo, load my shit up. No, I couldn't do it.
That's because they
I'm
would
like, he
always
wouldn't
put
be
me in
giving me,
freaking
like,
lobby.
extra meat or nothing. He was like just loading my burger up with like the lettuce and the pickle and all that stuff. Like I was always like, yeah, dude, give me extra everything. But he couldn't do the meat because the meat costed extra.
But here's what's funny.
Charged for extra toppings.
The reason why he got so pissed is because they would move me to lobby because they knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And as soon as they figured out that my brother, Rob, was in drive-thru, they're like, "Crew, go to lobby. We'll handle this." I'm like, "But you don't know how he likes his burgers. I do."
So hey crew, do you how well do you remember the camping trip that we did that one time?
Oh God. Okay.
I think this would be a good story
Okay.
for.
Story time. Okay. So a friend of Brandon and Courtney's was put in a tent with me and Kelly. Worst
No, I
mistake
think that was my
ever.
sister. Was that my sister? No,
Uh,
no. My sister actually slept in her car. Never mind.
yeah. Uh, so literally, he did not tell me that he was bringing Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I would have literally been like, okay, bet I'll bring my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but Kelly told me not to. And
Wow.
Brandon will tell you.
Oh,
Brandon
I
will
know what
tell
you're
you.
talking about now.
Yeah, Brandon will
Talking
tell
about
you.
Charles.
I was so much in a bad mood that whole weekend. I did not want to be around anybody. I literally darted off, went near the lake. Nobody could find me for about 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. We were actually trying to actually look for you. We're like, where did crew go?
Where'd you end up going? Just to the lake?
Yeah, I hit over by the lake, and I told Brandon where I was. I said, "I'm by the lake. Do not tell anybody."
Yeah, no, I just played dumb.
Funny.
That was fun. No, but okay. So and also, so that wasn't the worst part though. The worst part came. Okay, so we got there. It was pretty nice weather and all that, and we And anyways, I actually set up our tent. Well, I set up our tent on the bottom of a hill, and I didn't know it was gonna rain
Yeah.
that night. So so we all went to bed that day. I'm thinking crew was in the same tent as us too. Dude, we woke up drenched.
And water is completely wet.
We woke up
Oh,
completely wet.
oh, yeah, we did. I literally okay, that same night, I'm like, Brandon, Courtney, can I sleep in you guys' tent? I'm pissed off at Kelly. The fact that literally she offered to
That-
allow Charles to sleep in our tent with us. I'm trying to get good sleep. He snores, and Kelly's not letting me even touch her because Charles is there, and I'm trying to just sleep and cuddle because I like and they're like, yeah, come in here. We'll make a spot for you. So I go in there. I get fucking drenched.
to
The
be
next
honest, I did too.
the next day, I'm in a pissed off mood. Everybody wants to do tie-dye shirt. And I just storm off because I'm not even wanting to do a tie-dye shirt with Kelly. Brandon was like, "Where the fuck did he go?" And then I text Brandon. I was like, "I'm at the lake. Don't tell anybody. I'm gone. I'll be there for a few hours."
Yeah, but so Kerr wasn't the only one that actually walked off too. So my my wife, she was so we had alcohol there too, and so my wife got so drunk, she she just randomly just got up and just walking away. I'm like, where are you going? So I went after her, trying to figure out where the hell she's going. Oh my god, that was trying to get her like she was so drunk like
Oh
that.
man.
Oh my god, I was like and there was nothing I could do about it. So I was like, let's just
Right?
get her back to the campsite.
That's all I
Oh,
could do.
Yeah.
and another funny story that Brandon will probably remember. So we went to Nick and a few others' graduation party at a hotel and Independence. Everybody decides to leave me alone with freaking Emily's boyfriend at the time before he became her husband, and
Mhm.
I had to witness him sleepwalk.
Did not
Wait,
know that.
you saw
I
dude
literally,
sleepwalk?
yeah, I
You
literally
saw dude sleepwalk?
he was speaking he was speaking like he was like a demon or something, and I'm just watching
Oh
TV,
my god.
and I'm like, what the fuck? And
He saw dude
he starts reaching for me, right? I literally jumped up onto the bed, jumped up to the other bed because he was chasing
screaming
after
like
me.
a bitch.
Yeah, I literally ran out of the
Yeah.
freaking hotel room, all the way through the hall, all the way to outside, and Brandon's like, dude, you okay? I was like, no, Alex almost freaking killed me because he was sleepwalking.
Dude, I don't. Dude, I must have blocked this out from my mind because I don't remember this.
He's probably completely oblivious to what he was doing, being asleep, but at the same time he could be a demon.
Well, I think the crew was more nervous. Like, I don't think he didn't want to be touched or fondled with inappropriately because you never know.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I mean, yeah, yeah. Oh, dude, the people
Were
that
you
we
worried
hung
about
out
that?
with.
Were you worried about that crew?
Knowing Alex, yeah, I'm like, he's an oddball. I mean, he's cool, but he was odd at the same time. But at the same time, like, the people I hung around more with was like Brandon and Courtney and Aubrey, and literally like we all looked at half the group we hung out with, like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Oh god, I mean, well, no one that we hung out with was technically normal.
True.
Is anybody actually fucking normal? Like, I think normal's a myth, guys. I really
Oh
do. I
I
well,
think
think it
normal's
is,
a myth.
but I'm
Normal is a
actually
myth.
fine with that because you can't have interesting stories when you're normal.
No, there's no such thing as normal. Everybody goes through something fucking weird in their life,
Oh
okay?
yeah,
And
oh
like when
yeah,
you go through that weird fucking thing in your life, you become unnormal. And once you're
yeah.
unnormal, that's the end of it. Like you are never gonna be normal again. There's no such thing as normal. So like you like most people lose their normalness when they're a kid. Okay, they eat a worm
Hmm.
or some shit, and then you're no
Right,
longer normal. You're fucking weird. You
right.
like Yu-Gi-Oh
So
cards, and you fuck with D&D. You're weird.
yeah, so crew, you know Nick then, huh? You know
yeah.
that you know that he used to date Kelly before you, and so when I first met him, I was like, this guy's gay.
I automatically
Anyways,
tell he was gay. Like when he
There's
came up
nothing
to
wrong
me
with being gay. There's nothing
when I
wrong.
okay, so I
But is he
dated
like
Kelly twice.
flamboyant?
Once in high school and then after high school back in 2014. When I first met Nick in 2014, I automatically knew he was gay because the way he flaunted
yep,
himself, I was like, okay.
yep, yep. And you know
I'm
what?
like,
I tried to tell Kelly that hey, he's gay, and she's like, no, he's not.
Did you date him?
She did date him.
That makes it even better.
Her
oh,
gaydar was way off.
oh,
That's
and
funny.
Rob, check this out. The moment I introduced Billy to the group, I literally
Oh,
dipped. I
I don't
literally
want.
dipped.
I don't want to talk about that subject because that involves my family technically.
Well, no, no,
So,
no.
no,
This is where it gets. This is where it gets funny. As soon as I literally around that time, I told Brandon, I was like, dude, I'm gone. This group's gotten weirder. I'm gone.
yeah. I don't
mm-hmm.
want anything. Like I really don't want to. Like I just want to stay away from
Yeah,
that. Anything
yeah.
that involves people that are in any way related to me or my wife, I want to stay away from.
Wait, he was related to you?
Not to me.
Oh, okay. Okay, I did not know that.
I just rather not talk about that person in particular
So
ever.
you were technically related to Kelly then at one point.
Yeah, which is disturbing. That's disturbing. Like that's extremely disturbing.
Oh, hey, it's
Like
okay.
she's an okay
Hey,
person, but I don't want to be related.
it's okay. We
My
listen
nose is
and we
so
don't
bad, guys.
judge.
This is a vapor inhaler. This is not like crack cocaine or something.
But yeah, we listen and we don't judge. Not like the yeah the matter in that. So yeah, but no,
Well,
that
I
whole thing was super weird too. By the way.
well, I think personally, in high school, we all were weird people, and the people that we're talking about, they're just people. They were weird then. Some of them are still weird now, but people are people. And I personally think that we're all a little weird in our own way because of the way that we're treated when we were children.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of these people did not have a lot of love when they were children. And they went through a lot of harsh reality checks when they got older,
Yep.
including us both, crew. You
Mhm.
went through harsh reality checks. I went through harsh reality checks. I'm sure Mr. Brandon over here had at least one reality check.
No, I've had many,
Yeah,
many,
some
many.
people, I mean,
I'm
there's
not proud
nobody's
of them.
perfect. Not a single person in this world is perfect.
No,
Not a single
no,
fucking person.
no. I'm just happy that that things happen for the better for me, and for and for my wife too. Like
These
I mean,
things
like
that we've done when we were younger and the things that we as long as we learn from them, that is all that matters. You have to
yep,
learn from the mistakes that you make so that you don't make the same mistakes again.
yep. And actually, it is supposed to make you better as a person. Now, if it
Yeah.
does or not, it depends on the person.
Yeah, you gotta do what's good for you, and you also gotta know that what's good for you is good for humanity and good for the people around you. If it's not
Yep.
good for humanity, but it's good for the people around you, it really depends on what it is. If it's
Mhm.
if it's good for humanity and it's good for the people around you, that's a sure win. If one of those is even off, man, you got to question it. It's probably not the right choice.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's how I look at that. Like if your friend tells you, "Hey, bro, jump off a bridge," you probably should jump off that fucking bridge. Yeah.
No. No.
That's how I look at the people that go into bars and they go willingly to bars and get drunk and then leave and drive home. And I'm just like, you literally just like that's the whole analogy. They literally went to the friend who said, "Hey, let's jump off the Golden Gate Bridge tonight." And they were like, "Hey, yeah, sure." Like,
But
"Hey,
no,
let's drink a fifth of vodka and drive tonight." Yeah,
no,
sure.
but
That's
no one me with Brian will tell you this because he caught me doing it. About let's see, 2014. I decided to go to the bar by myself because nobody wanted to go with me. So I called Brandon at the middle of freaking 3 in the fucking morning in Kansas City. I'm like, bro, I'm drunk. I don't know what to do. He's like, call a cab. I was like, I'm broke.
Sometimes if you call a cab though and you tell them you're drunk, they'll just take you home because they'd rather drive you than you get into your car.
Yeah.
You just tell the cab company, "Hey, can you please come pick me up? Because if you don't pick me up, I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna drive, and I'm really drunk and I don't want to do this."
Yeah. I think I was work like had to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you texted me that, and I was like, dude, I just want to sleep. But I mean, like, if I wasn't working, I would have came and got you.
Oh, I know. But what's funny is that same night, Kelly really literally put Sharpie all over my arms, writing her name, claiming me. I'm like, what the fuck are you
The
doing?
con, the crew
I
doesn't seem to remember that there was a
Oh,
night.
I remember that. I
There was a
remember
night.
that.
4 years outside of high school, Crew. I don't know if you remember this or not, but you called me from O'Malley's. You called me from O'Malley's at 2:45 in the morning begging for a ride. Do you remember that? That was one of the last times we ever talked. It was that Irish pub in Blue Springs. It's not there anymore. The one that's
Oh,
right. What was that?
Which
yeah,
one?
that's right.
Ayers or O'Malley's or something? I don't know. But you called me at 2:45 in the morning and you were begging me for a ride home and I came and got you and it was the first time we had talked in like a year and a half and I told you I was like, "What are you doing?" And you looked at me and you literally said, "Ruin of my life. You want to come with?" You remember that? You literally told me he was so wasted. It was so bad. He ended up spending the night in my car.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why, Rob, why that happened. Okay, so
I
this
felt
was
so
at
bad for you that night.
so so this was around the time that I literally stopped talking to a lot of people around that time.
Yeah.
This was after me and Kelly broke up,
Mm-hmm.
and literally I was so gone, so plastered.
Oh, I
I was
remember.
drinking, I was drinking a lot around that week. Brandon couldn't get a hold of me. Courtney couldn't get a hold of me. Freaking
I was surprised you called me. You hadn't called me in over a year.
right.
I had tried to get a hold of him. He ignored all of my calls. And then one night, dude, he just called me. He's like, something tells me that I need to call you. Is there any
Yeah.
way that you can come get me? And I was up by like, I don't even know. Like it was just, I woke up around that time. Like he hadn't even called yet. I just woke up. I swear to God, it was telepathic. Like he was like in his soul, he was crying out to me to come get him, and I could feel it. I was like, dude, I just need to go help him real quick.
Because
I
I was
felt bad
so
for you,
I
brother.
I was like this on my phone. I was like looking, see what's up on Facebook. I was like, I was like this. I gotta call him. I gotta call him, but I can't. I haven't talked to him in forever because of circumstances. But I want to call him.
Yeah, I picked you up that night.
Yep,
I remember. And then we didn't talk for another 3.5 years
I know.
after that night. That was so weird. I wanted you to call me back. I tried to call him like 19 fucking times the next day. He ignored every call I called. It was like he thought he made the worst decision of his life because
Yeah.
at that point in time, I was married to my ex-wife, and my ex-wife apparently tried to do some sleazy shit with him, and then at the same time also tried to make me and him not friends anymore, and it kind of worked. She apparently told him that she wanted him basically out of the picture completely, or she wouldn't be happy. And Crew was just like, whatever, fine, I'll just leave y'all alone. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that she did this shit.
Oh, that's
Like,
fucked up, man.
yeah, no, I didn't have a damn clue. So I thought he just said F me. You know what I mean?
So
So I was
uh,
like, mad
I'll
about it.
explain it like this. I'll explain it like this. It was either I sleep with her or I dip out.
You made the better choice. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was doing it for our friendship because one, Rob and I are brothers. We are blood brothers. Like no, like we literally made a pact for blood.
When we were younger, a lot
Yeah,
younger. We were young and dumb. We actually did the whole cut your hands and fucking make a promise to be loyal to each other forever.
and
And that's
similar,
and that was loyalty
yeah,
right there.
similar situation almost happened with my wife, right?
Yeah.
And but not the whole sleeping around part. The more of, she was trying to turn him and his wife against me, lying,
Yeah.
and Rob's like, that don't sound like crew.
Well, I was just like, hold up, I need to hear both sides of the story. Like, because I know people get pissed off at each other. And I know like being in a relationship with a woman who is emotional sometimes and can get stressed out, but she's wonderful. Like, just like anybody else, she has emotions and she stresses out and sometimes fights occur and sometimes we get upset with each other. So I know when shit is going bad or when you need to like try to de-escalate and try to make
Yeah,
things a little bit better.
yeah.
Don't Don't make it worse.
Yeah. But to be fair, I mean, like, the people that we were all around with, I mean that did not make like hardly anything better.
Back
Actually,
then,
that
back
actually
then, we
made
were
a lot of
dumb.
things worse.
Back then we were dumb. We were
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah,
We made
yep,
decisions
yep.
that were
And
very
so yeah. So now, I think that we all found a very good common ground, and we kind of just like we kind of got away from those people uh
you have to learn.
that were still stuck in high school after what 5 years later.
Yep.
Oh, dude. Brandon will tell you this, Rob. When I started dating Kelly, she was still stuck in high school,
Yep.
hanging
My
out with high
God.
schoolers, hanging out with people who just graduated high school.
By
There
the
would be
way, this
times,
podcast is for entertainment purposes only.
yeah, right,
I don't
Yes,
know who
yes.
the
right,
hell he's
right,
talking
right,
about when
It
he
is
says
right.
it is for my entertainment
Yeah.
because
So I would literally
all
part of
of
the
this is alleged.
I so when I mentioned earlier where it would be me, Brandon, Courtney, and Aubrey outside having a cigarette or just chatting, part of the
Yeah.
reasons was because of the fact that I would literally vent about telling them how I felt because at the
yeah,
time Kelly would always
yep.
want to bring her friends over. I'm trying.
Always.
Dude,
I'm
I
trying
know.
to have it to
You're
where it's just me and
forgetting that
her.
I dated her before you.
Oh, I know.
You're
Oh, you.
forgetting that I was with her before any of y'all.
Oh,
She is a horrible human being. I'm sorry. I think she's a good person, but I think she's a horrible human being in the aspect of being an actual person to be there for somebody. She doesn't think about other
Right.
people's feelings. And
and
you know that's
No.
a lot
Yeah.
of that's a lot of people. It's a lot
Yeah.
of people because they have their own
Yeah.
traumas.
Yeah.
People have their own traumas, and until they work out their own trauma, they will never be happy. I've already understood that myself, and me and my wife
So
have grown
yeah.
together and learned that together.
Yeah.
Until somebody's
And
ready, yeah, sorry. Until
no,
somebody's
no, no.
ready, you won't understand how that feels. And I know you tried to work it out with your ex-wife, Shake or Crew. And so, like, I know you understand the feelings of what it's like to be rejected and be basically spit on and be like, I'm not changing for nobody, not nobody, no how. Like, that's BS. And that's how a lot of these women out there are. Like, I'm not being sexist, I'm being for real. Out of all the women that I've been with, a lot of them have been all about me, 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 me. Spend your money on me, do your shit for me. Let's get this done for me. Like, I'm sorry that you have a princess complex, but I'm in the mindset of I'll do what I have to do for us to stay alive and survive, and you're going to be fucking happy, or you can leave me.
right.
Hmm.
That's
Yep.
where I've gotten with it because I bust my ass as a human. Like a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, sure, I struggled. I struggled, man. I tried my hardest, but I'm proud of who I became to be. And I know y'all are proud of who y'all's become to be. That sounds really
Yep.
bad. Like that just sounds super southern. I'm not southern. Y'all.
Kinda. Kinda.
And I say y'all. Like I never noticed that before, but I'm like, that's a really southern thing to say, like all the time. And I do. I say it all the time. Like I catch myself telling other employees, like, what are y'all doing this weekend? How are y'all doing? I'm like, whoa, what am I saying? How are you doing? What are you
Yep.
guys doing today?
Yep. But
Like,
I would like to add. Uh, so when me and Kelly when we were hanging out and by the way we were just good friends. That's it. I tried so hard just to help help make her more happy and all that because I understood her like circumstances at home type deal but here's the problem that I ran into which is why I just said screw this. I'm going my separate ways. Um, so I tried to help her as much as I can, but she was just one. She was just the one that just did not want to help herself.
yeah, she doesn't want help. She
No.
doesn't actually want help. She wants
No.
the attention.
Yep.
That's most
Yep.
women, man. Like I hate saying that, but it's most women because like so 100% of women, that's insane to say that's not true. I'm gonna be nice here and I'm gonna say 75%. I honestly think it's 85% of women. A lot of women want to be pampered. Okay, they want to be pampered and they want everything done for them. I understand it. That's why OnlyFans is a thing. Okay, they'd rather just get paid and do whatever they want with money. They don't want to
Well,
work. They don't want to do that kind of stuff, which I get. But there is hardworking women out there that are honest, that are loyal, that care about
Yep.
men, and
Yep.
those are the women that are good. Because if I can make it to where you don't have to work, trust me, I'll do it. But I don't want that to be the expectation. In today's world, sadly we both kind of have to work. I don't have
Yep.
the most amazing job, and apartments cost way too much money for me to do this by myself. And I love my wife to death for doing what she does because she gets up early, she busts her ass, and she works at a coffee shop all day. So it's awesome that she does what she does, and she's really good at her
Yep.
job. So I respect a woman that'll do that. And
Yep.
any other woman that like women that live off their parents or live off their men or live off their friends, I can't stand that. It upsets me because I'm like,
it
No.
if you're a human, you can figure out a way to get paid.
it's
Crack
like
addicts
this.
wake up in the morning and get paid every day. So what the hell are you doing just sitting around?
It's like this for me though. Like, okay, and Brandon will tell you this because this was one of my biggest pet peeves. Anniversary.
Oh
We
yeah.
okay. It's our 3 month anniversary, right? This
Yeah,
was our last month dating, around 2014. I had it up to here. We were having a great day, having so much fun. Next thing I know, we're getting hundreds of texts from everyone, and I'm like,
I don't know what happened.
they, they all wanted to hang out. Brandon knew. Brandon knew it was not a great day. He didn't want to. Courtney didn't want to, but they got included. I was like, they fine, they can come because I'd rather hang out with them and Aubrey because you want to hang out with your friends.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So a week after that, we ended up breaking up, and I dipped.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which honestly, it kind of hurt. I mean, like, it didn't really hurt my feeling. Like, I mean, kind of did, but it's more like that. You kind of like just stopped talking to us on, in general, and that was the part that I did not like because I was like, hey, I thought that we were cool.
Well, okay, so I was cool with you, right, and
Hmm.
Courtney.
right. But
Yeah. Yeah.
What Brandon's saying, Shaitan, is that he felt like you were like, well, since you hang out with this group right here, I can't talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah.
So my issue was like, okay, so around that time I was going through a really bad slump because of that after the
Yep.
breakup. I
Hmm.
started drinking.
Yep.
Well, within 3 days and of not talking to anybody, trying to cool off, Kelly starts starting rumors on me,
Yes. Yes, you did.
and I was like, all right, I'm putting my hands up there and I'm walking. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm doing me. I'm focusing on myself, getting myself better. And
See,
then
childish. Her part, the whole starting rumors part. That's just so childish.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Which I kind of knew it was all bullshit, anyways. But
And I'm like, it really hurt me because like I made really good friends in that group, like Brandon, Courtney, Aubrey.
hmm
Um,
and Courtney is my wife for people who don't know.
which Brandon will tell you, I literally saw her as a sister, like I could go to all the time.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was kind of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like, so it was actually shortly after that is the reason why that we just stopped we just stopped talking to her. We stopped hanging out with her and all that because of all that. And plus on top of that, she was after Shaitan, she was dating William, and I could not support that for a reason that I cannot discuss or will not
Right.
discuss. So, and that was the final straw with me. So, and I was recording, so we kind of just kind of like eats our way out of there.
As any good human being would.
Yeah. Yeah, because Courtney, she did not like, oh my, like, yeah, we had a long talk about that with that whole thing, and we could not, yeah, we couldn't. And actually, we didn't even go to their wedding either.
Yeah,
Like that whole situation, Brandon,
Yeah,
ruined me and Emily's friendship from high school. Like
did
I was
it
really good.
really?
Yeah.
I
Like
didn't know about that.
okay, so I'll if you haven't seen my life story, right? In the podcast,
Hmm.
I was dealing with legal trouble, right?
Okay.
Which I'm innocent. I'm completely innocent. Got all that taken care of, I went to Emily asking, not help with money, but asking help as a friend to give me advice. That whole issue, around that whole issue, she was really good friends with Kelly.
Yep. Yep.
The fact that I dipped and still trying to be good friends with Emily, she completely turns on me, blocks me, and ruined our friendship all because of Kelly.
Yep. Sounds about right.
All right, guys. Well, let's try to end the podcast on a good note because we only got 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
So, if there's one thing in the world that you could say is making you more happy than anything right now, Brandon, what would it be?
Mm,
And it
the
can't be
fact
your
that,
wife. It can't be your wife. It can be
oh,
anything but
come
your wife.
on.
It can be
Yeah.
anything
Oh,
but your wife.
can it
It
be
could be
my
anything.
kids?
Yes, it could be your kids.
Okay. Yeah. So shortly after all that, yeah, we had our kids, and then so shortly having our son, we moved 3 hours, 3 hours down south, and all that. So and so we just got away from just everything, and that was a blessing, a blessing. And so but it was something that we needed. But I will be honest, I do not regret a thing, because all that made is it has made me a better person in
Right.
general, in all that. I've also learned, yeah, just yeah, don't put it with that with that crap. But but yeah, I mean, but on a good note though, I mean, like, uh yeah, my kids, that came, shortly after all that mess. You know what, that was a blessing, just in all that. So
Crew, what's one thing in your mind that's just either blowing your mind or making you very happy at the moment?
The fact that, Brandon's back in my life, you know, he was always one of my really good friends in high school. And now that he's back in my life, I'm happy. And the fact that, this podcast has brought you and I closer, brother.
Yeah, for
it did,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, for a second there, I was like, who's crew? And then I was like, oh, I know who Crew is.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anybody Crew. So, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
your
but
whole,
yeah.
it's your initials, right? Right,
Yeah,
Crew?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I'll give you all
Oh,
reason
it
why.
is. Okay.
Yeah. See,
You're
okay,
right.
so back in 2014, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to come up with a new identity because of the fact that people know me so much, and I'm apparently a troubled kid in my early 20s. So I took the name Crew, so that way nobody knew me. It works.
It
And
worked. Yeah, it did work. I'll be honest. You got me on that one.
ever since then, I stuck with it. What about you,
Yeah.
Rob?
Well, the thing that's blowing my mind right now is how everybody believes that Katy Perry went to space.
Oh God,
That shit didn't happen, man. It didn't
I know.
happen. The Blue Origin flight, they can prove it didn't happen. The space capsule, when it landed, um, the door opened from the inside for a minute, and then they tried to tell them to stop doing it so Jeff Bezos could come open up the door with the special tool. There's no way they went to space if that capsule wasn't pressurized and they opened the door themselves from the inside. That's not how that works.
Also, what shape was the thing?
The capsule, it was like an oval, but it was like on the top of a rocket that they shot up. And then, of course, the rocket part fell down, and this like cylinder oval thing like stayed up in the air with windows, and there's seats all up in it or whatever. And they
Okay.
called it the Blue Origin capsule. That's what they called it. And Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos's fiance and a couple other people were on it. And the weird thing was Katy Perry brought like a daisy with her, and she took the daisy to space. And by the time they got back down from space, the daisy was still alive and not wilted. That's not normal. That doesn't happen. They were in space for 10 minutes, and the pressurization changes should have destroyed the flower.
Hmm.
Another thing, the space capsule, when it came down to the ground, they should not have been able to open it. And the landing that they made that landed on the desert would have been extremely rough, and those girls would have not been feeling very good by the time they were trying to get out. Also, how come they weren't wearing traditional space suits or have space helmets or gloves or anything of that matter in case of an accident?
Fair point.
Dude, like, I come on, guys. We got to think about reality here. And I know nobody wants to hear me say this, but I think it was fake. I don't think Blue Origin actually happened. It was fake.
It was a
I'm just gonna be
publicity
honest.
stunt.
Yeah,
It
that's what it
might have been
was.
a publicity stunt, but it doesn't matter. You don't get to lie about that kind of stuff in front of everybody because
Exactly.
that just proves the point that we possibly didn't go to the moon and space might not be real. But we don't
I've
know.
been
We don't know
I've been
because
saying it was all filmed in freaking studio for freaking millionth time here on the podcast.
you'll never know unless you go, bro. You got to go to space first and then tell me if it's real and tell me if the earth is round. But if you don't go to space, you're never going to know because that's the only way to find out. But I will tell you, I will leave y'all with this. William Shatner, the guy that did Star Trek, he did go to space, and apparently he paid quite a bit of money to go to space. And he said that even from space, you cannot see the curvature of the Earth. And he said the Earth might as well be flat. He could not tell any curvature at all, and the man went to space. That's William Shatner, the same guy that did Star Trek. And you can look that up. That's an original quote. That William Shatner still believes the Earth is flat, even though he went to space.
So was he the one that started the flat Earth thing?
No, he did not start Flat Earth. Flat Earth has actually been around since the 1500s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, flat Earth has been around since the Bible's existed.
Yep.
Yeah, the Bible's based on a flat Earth model. That's the one thing that throws Christians off. It's also the one thing that throws Muslims and Jews off, is that the Bible's formed on a flat earth model. But what they say is that the people in that time didn't understand science. But yet scientists will try to prove God wrong with science. So make that
So,
make sense.
quick question. So, is it possible that the moon is flat?
I think the moon is possibly round, but I also think it's hollow. And the reason I think it's round and hollow is because back in the 1990s, they captured asteroids that smacked the moon, and all of the craters only go down to a certain spot. All of them. They don't penetrate further than a certain level, and the moon rings like a bell whenever it gets hit. It doesn't happen when the Earth gets hit. When the Earth gets hit, giant holes form and sinkholes form, and people collapse, or sorry, not people, land collapses, and you get gigantic holes. That doesn't happen on the moon. It's like the asteroids bounce off, as weird as that sounds.
Yep.
Well, also, I mean, like we have like underground caverns, all
Oh,
all across our planet.
my personal belief is the Earth is hollow, and I think the Earth is hollow because caves prove that. Caves prove that the Earth is hollow. Once you get a cave a certain distance down into the ground, you have an opening. That opening is going to be there. That opening is either going to hold water or it's going to hold magma. But that's what they're not telling you is there's an obvious opening, there's an obvious center to the earth. It only makes sense. If the earth is round, we have a center. Whether or not that center is filled with something we can't be around, like lava, if it's filled with lava, man, then yeah, you can't go to the center of the earth. And that would make the earth not technically hollow because it'd be filled with magma. I get you. But it's still, to me, that's still a giant cavern, a huge cavern in the middle of us that would be filled with something or not filled with something. And that makes more sense to me personally, that the earth would probably be round, but it would be hollow to a point where there would
So
be
like,
insides.
yeah, so like, yeah, I'm gonna use a cat. So like, the Earth is like right. So like, this is the Earth right here. So would water flow down, from the sides?
If the
So
earth
No,
if
technically.
the earth is flat, the water is contained. If the water is
So
so it's
contained,
contained all on the surface then.
okay,
there'd be a
so you
dome.
know that. All right, so you know the big old ice wall, right? That I've been talking about
From
throughout the entire
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Yeah,
that,
there's a
but also
150 foot. There's a 100. Sorry, not 150. There's a 150-mile long glacier in Antarctica that people say is actually an ice wall that goes all the way around the world, and
right.
that's actually what they based the Game of Thrones ice wall off of, was the ice wall theory. And basically, what the ice wall is it keeps people out of the other land, the extra terra. So you have Terra Infinita and Flat Earth, and Terra Infinita is just dome theory. So there's a bunch of domes all around that hold different societies and different
Mm.
worlds. And those, like Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and all the planets, are actually just different societies. And we all live on the
Oh.
same world, but we don't actually see each other ever because these walls block us. We can't
So do
access each other.
you think that the Garden of Eden still exists beyond the wall?
The Garden of Eden would be inside of the earth. And what the Garden of Eden
So
is, well, wait, I just want to say this real quick because we do only have 2 minutes left. Actually, 1 minute left, guys. Sorry. But the Garden of Eden, there was a group of people called the Irons or the Aryans that were aliens that Bird saw in the center of the earth when he flew the plane in there, supposedly. Those aliens
Okay.
come from the land of Eden. Therefore, that makes me believe the land of Eden was actually the garden. That was the
Yeah.
Garden of Eden.
But in the
But,
Ancestral
guys,
Republic,
we gotta wrap this up, crew. So
all right,
you got one thing to say, and then we gotta go.
okay. So the Ancestral Republic, right? That's in ours, past the ice wall. That's where supposedly the garden would be, and the Ark of the Covenant.
There's a lot of different theories. We can do another show with Brandon for sure. We love you, dude. Thanks for coming on tonight. Thank you for letting us interview. Thank you for letting us pick your brain and talk about the weird, talk about your relationships, talk about your job, talk about the world. It was wonderful
Yeah.
tonight. Thanks so much
Oh,
for
yeah.
coming on.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome back whenever you want. Me and crew had a splendid time, right, crew?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
well,
me too.
This is from the Robert and Crew Show, guys. We had plenty of fun tonight. If you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Peace, love, and have a good night, guys. Peace from the Robert and Crew Show.
If you don't like boring news but still crave the truth, then dive into The Robert and Crew Show. From mind-bending conspiracy theories to wild weather phenomena, we've got it all. Ever wondered what's really happening in your hometown, or what secrets the global news isn't telling you? We dig deep into the core of every story, unraveling the mysteries one podcast at a time. Join Robert and the crew as we navigate this vibrant, ever-changing cyberpunk landscape, bringing you interviews with the most intriguing minds out there. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, a news junkie or a weather enthusiast, there's something here for you. So strap in, listeners, because we're about to take you on a ride through the neon-lit alleys of truth and intrigue. This is the Robert and Crew Show, where the future meets the fantastic.